So welcome again to Datasphere. You know Kwambox from Big Brother. How was that? Let's just dive straight in.
All right. I think if I could get cash for every single time I've been asked, so how was Big Brother? How did I end up in Big Brother? Which is the question everybody asks. A few years ago, a few years before that, I was on Miss Tourism Kenya. So I'd come from playing basketball. I was playing sports like her, and I was playing in the National League. And then I injured my knee. Perfect opportunity for my mom to run in the room and say, now since you're just tall, see, you always use it for playing.
Just tall.
Yeah, I've always been too tall for everything. So she's like, since you only use it for sports or like, peeping over the fence, or why don't you, use it for me? So I was like, what do you want me to do? And she was like, modeling. So she bought the brochure for Miss Tourism. And then after I did that, I got into modeling, and then I was dethroned. That's a whole other story. And then I
Dethroned.
Dethroned.
What?
Because I was outspoken. I was like, let's do things. And the franchise owner at that point was like, no, we've got to chill. Just a long story.
So you're supposed to want world peace, those things we see beauty queens saying.
No, that's what I wanted. I wanted us to go out there and help people.
But you're just supposed to want it, not work for it.
You're not supposed to. No, you're not supposed to. Now, that's the one you say on the TV. I will help the children. I will go out there and build schools. Thank you. And then when you get behind the scenes, she's like, you did good. And that was the end. You shouldn't be like, now let's go out there and help the kids. It's like, the hell? No, the money is for doing another pageant or pageant. So after that, she noticed I was like too hard. She was like, you get out of here. So
you don't know your lane. You're not staying in the lane.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get dethroned, and then what?
I got into TV. K24, there was a news station that was starting. Jeff Koinange was coming from CNN. So I was like, what? I actually thought I was going for like one of the modeling things. And then the person told, it's not modeling, it's an actual audition. I was like, I'm not going to get it. I never get anything. I'll stand there, I'll be the fillers in the line. But like, they'll just pick light-skinned to be the Valentine. So when I got to the line and I met Eric Latif, and he just did this random interview, like, you need all this information for me to wear an outfit. And he was like, oh, this is for a TV station. And so after the audition, I became a news reporter.
You were on the news, like actually saying, I'm here, it's 10 a.m., this fire happened.
Yeah. So actually, crazy part, that was in 2007, which was around the same time you guys were doing?
Post-election violence.
So I actually covered the elections and the post-election violence, and almost died 4 times. In 4 different occasions.
You have to tell us at least one.
So, you know Jen Goiri, NTV? I remember it was the day they had announced that the president was being sworn in Parliament, in government, in State House, in the middle of the night. As news reporters were like, let's go to Kibera. Let's see what was happening there. And so when we were there, and this was where the bypass is now, it was a Maram Road at that point. And we were there, we were like with our cameras looking into Kibera, and dude, Kibera was on fire. It was burning, you could hear screaming, it was just mad. And we expected this because we'd been covering Naivasha, and as we were there shooting, there was no one. The roads were abandoned. As we left the office, there was a press release that was, like a state of emergency, like don't go anywhere, news reporters stay. Don't go to like danger zones. So we were there by ourselves and the driver. And then there was a guy driving on the road, and they came out with guns and they beat us. Like Jane was unconscious, and I just knew we were dead because they kept saying "Ninyinyi mumewaweka."
Oh my
Dani.
God!
We were just 2 girls, and there was this car, and they were driving like it was just a nightmare for about 45 minutes. And finally, we managed to pull Jane into the car, and we reversed like crazy onto Langata Road. And then when we got there, we found the GSU guys parked on the side of the road, and we're like, dude, it's
so bad that even the GSU is not like, going into Kibera.
Alikwambia when it happened, Dani? Okay, thanks. And so they just knew, I kind of feel like my life has a lot to offer. Yeah.
So you leave journalism, done deal, Big Brother.
Yeah.
When does Big Brother?
It was actually around the time when I was in K24, a colleague of mine decided to start filling the forms online. And so she was just asking me, approximately how tall are you? I'm like 5'11". So when
So
she
she-
asked me for my passport number is when I was like, eh? And then she was like, I feel like you'd be perfect for this. So we applied and forgot about it. I even quit the job. 2 months in, they called me and they were like, hey, you're going to be in Big Brother. We want you to come and do the final audition. So after they called me, they were like, you got it. And there was another lady. So Liz Njaga. So I knew Liz would get
Oh.
it. Like, she's funny, she's smart, she's just everything. So then they called me. I was like, yeah, I got it.
But you're random and you're very entertaining.
I didn't think of myself like that at that
And you're
time.
surprising. Like you say things and are like, she really said that.
It's-
You don't know
yeah.
this about yourself. So
Yeah.
we are co-hosts on a show on K24. And consistently you say things, I'm like, she really said that. Okay.
Yeah, I also
Yeah.
shock myself 'cause when you're saying "ha," I'm like "ha." Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you joined Big Brother. What was the house like? I didn't watch it.
To be honest, I gotta tell you this. If you'd have asked me this when I left the house, I would have had a different thing to say. And then 2 years later, I'd have had a different thing to say. The first time was 2008, so over 11 years. My answer is different. It's like a social experiment
Okay.
of human beings. And so even when you leave, there's a couple of things. The first 3 months,
Months?
I could hear Big Brother in restaurants, in the toilet, and I'm like, yeah, I'm coming to the, and then I'm like, wait, where am I? So
Big
there
Brother
was
is
that.
in your voice telling you you need to go to the bathroom now.
Yeah, I
you
could
need
hear Big
ask
Brother.
this question
Yeah.
now. You're going to eat at this time.
Yeah, there's that social anxiety as well. I was used to staying with 10 people, and then now everyone wants you. Like everyone wants, you're that big for Big Brother, and before it was like you started as 12 people, and then 11, and then 10, and then, so there was like 4 weeks where we're just 3 people.
Okay.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
So you get
For a whole
cabin
month.
cabin fever.
Yeah,
And you want
so-
to kill each other.
Yeah, no. We were best friends. We were, you learned space, you learned lots of silence, and then now you're traveling, you're going everywhere. Everybody is taking pictures of you. You're larger than life. You are literally the most famous person in Africa, except politicians, because you love politicians.
No one beats Raila. You can't just.
Yeah, but like that level of, you're meeting presidents, they know you, you're meeting just anyone who know you, and they know you intimately.
Okay.
Yeah, so-
And we think you have money and we think you're rich and we
Yeah.
think that now, your life is all that glam.
Yeah.
Was it really all that glam?
So actually, outside Kenya, my life is fantastic. It's glam, it's everything, because, people want to VIP you, want to treat you, they appreciate you. But then when I'm in Kenya, oh my God, you guys, let me tell you the
Are we
funniest story.
terrible?
Let me tell you the
We feel nothing.
the funniest story, okay? So when I left Big Brother, remember, before I went, I had quit my job, right? So I was jobless. And then I also stopped modeling. Modeling used to make me the most money. So more than any job.
Are you being serious?
For real, I used to make a lot of money from modeling. And
I've
was in
modeled and I
school.
was paid in wine. What do you mean?
Which agency? Which agency? So when I came back, there was fame, a lot of it. So even where I used to stay, I couldn't, literally had to move because everyone is your fan. Like even your aunties, your cousins, your sister, everyone is fanning out. It's like you can't have a normal life. So, but then I was poor. So I had to, by force, have a normal life. So I remember there was a time I had moved back to my parents, and they were staying in Donholm at the time. And I'd gone searching for money, And it's very hard because everyone expects you should be land cruising, drop top, just champagning.
Paying the bills.
I'm at, sorry, I don't job. Where do guys get jobs for Islando? 3560. So the job, 3560. That's where I was jobbing. So I'm there. 6 months or 3 months before, you had seen me everywhere in every newspaper. And now I'm walking down, as I'm shuking now, there's Kenyatta Avenue. No, there's Moi Avenue. That's uptown.
Yes.
Then Tomboya, now you're
Tomboya,
going deep.
and
And then after now you're in Eastlands. You know what I mean? So
Even the air is different.
Even
It's
the air is
dusty,
different.
people
And
are
then you
sweaty.
just-
Like, what's up?
So I'm standing there, I'm like minding my own business. I don't mind that I'm javing. It's my life. But as I'm standing there, you guys, some Chile and her pal, right? they just start. Hey, si unashilo Big Brother. Ati anapanda matatu kwanza hata unajua ati anaishi Doni, si Doni E, anaishi ile. Sisi tunaishinge Don Home. Yeye anaishi Doni. So it was like you know, and imagine the shame. You at this point I remember I went home and
like, I just want to get home.
Now you have to buy me a car. And she's like, what happened? And I took her through it and she was like, you have to be strong. Like, you have to be strong. This is your reality. That is their reality. So I slowly started now. I actually went and got a job. I've always sworn that 8 to 5 is not my portion. It's actually not. Don't hire me for anything. It's not my portion. So I need to dictate my terms of work. So I actually went and got jobs and I was working, things which anyone else as a fan would have been, girl, that is beneath you. But I was like, yo, beneath you is hunger. So
that's true.
and keep in mind at the same time, I'm still traveling outside the country. When I'm outside the country,
do they pay you for all these traveling things?
They pay for everything.
They don't give you actual
cash? They pay appearance fee. It depends on where you're going. It depends on where you're going. So I'd be paid appearance fee. Even up to, like, I go one trip, it's like 250,000. Bam, one night. You know, and
suddenly Big Brother doesn't sound so bad.
And then when I come back home, I have to, like, now 250 divide by 40.
8 months.
So, yeah, so
okay.
I went through that, and to be honest, after a while, it really did drain me because the media was really talking a lot. Everyone around me seemed to know me, but nobody was dealing with my actual reality. So between 2008 and 2009, I kind of went into a depression. Lots of drinking, lots of just withdrawn. Like, I was very withdrawn. I didn't want people. I didn't like people. I had a lot of anxiety because I was like, I failed. You know, when life hands you, because it's like, tata. I mean, what are the chances that life can hand me another chance? And so it was bad. It was bad. I remember being kicked out of a house because of rent, and I was taking care of my whole family at the time. And, you know, I remember the landlady, I know she'll be watching this, so I got to paraphrase. She said, and they came into the house, all of them. I remember my dad, my mom, everyone were there, and they came, children, you know.
To kick you out of a house?
Yeah, and she was like, you mean you can be in Big Brother, and not even be, you can be in newspapers every day and not be able to pay rent? Why are you living above your, you know? Go and this, my dad, my mom, my sisters, my brother. And the interesting fact is her son and me had been friends since campus. So
wow.
He sitting there watching this. And right there, that was the rock bottom, right there. So there was no getting me out of this. I was just like, this is my portion, this is my life. So I remember I tried to figure out where we are moving to, and then, as God would have it, Big Brother called, and they were like, we want you to do this again. They voted for if you were to have people come back into the house, which characters would you like to see?
The All-Stars?
Yes.
Okay.
And I didn't want to do it. I actually refused. They called, I disconnected, and so they called my mom, and then my mom sat me down, and she was like, look, I've seen you go through this. I've seen you, like, you know, nobody understanding what actually, because I don't talk about what's going on. You can see from outside, but you don't know what's going inside. And she was like, this is an opportunity for you to change the narrative, change the script, decide for yourself. And I was like, I didn't want the fame. The one thing I knew for a fact I didn't want was fame, because it came with such a high price tag. You know, because I know you, then you should be dressing like this, you should eat like this, you should live like this.
And when I meet you, you should speak to me like this. And if I want to hug you, you should hug me. And so
I went back to Big Brother, and as luck would have it, I was prepared for the fame. I was prepared for the you know, what would come out of that. And then I started steering my own narrative, where I don't care. Like, it's me. Yeah.
So you love music. You wanted to be an artist. What happened there?
I don't want to say after Big Brother, but like after Big Brother. 2010 was
Is that how your life sits? Like,
yeah.
Like kind of before Christ, after
before
Christ, there's before
yeah,
Big Brother and after. Okay.
My biggest fan base is in Nigeria. When I wanted to do my music career, Nigeria was steaming at that point. We had D'banj, Wizkid. So I decided to go to Nigeria. Shot a music video, did my music actually recorded here, and then recorded as well in Nigeria. Then I came back to Kenya now. Promo, you guys, I'm not asking for free love. Here's something you can love. And the media, especially the blogs, just went in. They didn't even give it an opportunity. They just went in and said, you remember that nasty girl from Big Brother?
Nasty.
Yeah, because for Kenyans, that was an embarrassment. So I took my, and I was like, okay, you guys, thank you. I've understood. Shoved it in the drawer.
But maybe you don't do it here. Maybe you go to Nigeria. Go where people love you. Like,
Yeah.
forget Kenyans. We'll
Yeah.
catch on. We don't like our own.
Yeah.
We're very happy to embrace like Nigerian music and South African culture, whatever it is, but we don't seem to like our own.
There's something about Tanzania music and Nigerian music that really does it for your eardrums. But like Kenyan music, it's like we don't have content, you know. So I remember I came back and I was doing some media runs and I got offered a job on Homeboys Radio. And that time I was doing a project to the NBA traveling around Africa. And I remember I was like, please, could you keep this until I come back 3 weeks from now? And he was like, yeah. So when I came back, I did. Now I got the radio job. And then I was like, I don't want that Big Brother tag because that one, I think Kenyans just don't like that tag. So I'm going to drop it. So for the past 7 years, I've been building on radio. While I was in radio, then I realized there's not a lot of Kenyan music being played on the radio.
There really isn't.
There really isn't. And then I can't tell the owner of the station, hey, play Kenyan music. You know, who am I? So I decided to set up a platform to help artists go through, and not just artists, anyone who has talent, to go through that process of taking the fame and the opportunities and making them into something.
This is industry night.
Yeah.
So you're mentoring. You mentioned it's not just artists. So it's not just singers.
No.
It's also who?
Managers, if you want to be an agent, you know. I've worked with over 1,000 artists so far. And
In 5 years.
In 5 years.
Well done.
Thank you. The thing that usually I insist on, because that's, for me, when I went into Big Brother, everyone else thinks it's like the best thing that happened. No, dude, it's not. It's not the best thing that happened. It was, but it also psychologically affected me. And so what I went back to do was work with people and say, when you get this, yeah, it can really drive you crazy. So remember to stay focused. Remember to stay humble.
Okay.
Don't get a big head, you know, or.
So what do
bounce
you
the
do? You
pressure.
provide a support system.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
and warning and all that. Okay, so what's next? Very quickly, we have to wrap up now, I think.
To be honest, I'm just happy that, you know, like taking life a step at a time. Don't be trying to deal with that problem like, oh, I'm going to do my master's. You know, think of the 2 years. Think of the day you start, and then slowly, like that.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Sheila. Do we all feel like we know her better?